This is Mark Tronson from the Australian Missionary News. I have here with me today Fred Schaeffer from the Aboriginal Christian Training Service. Now Fred is an American. Now Fred, tell us something about your background.
Well, I started out at age 9 in the streets of Chicago, the violent streets, and found that I was a businessman and went to the best of schools, and then went to work for 2 large companies and started an enterprise for a French company. And suddenly I saw an opportunity to be in my own business. And in my own business I prospered, and I was right at the peak of everything when I was about 49 years old, when I realized that something was wrong. And so I went to my mentor and told him the exact situation. He says, "Why not mission?"
Now, did your business do very well?
My business was at the peak at that moment when I was called to evangelize in Australia amongst the Aborigines.
Now, how did you feel just the Lord called you?
Well, as it turned out, I had been called to mission 5 years previously, but was kept on praying to God, "Please don't send me to Africa." When my mentor told me that I was holding on God by not going, suddenly I felt very repentant and was in an all night of prayer, and in the midst of that prayer I heard an audible voice which said, "I want you to evangelize in Australia." I knew this was of God, and so like a kid I said, "Whoo!" And the same voice said the Aborigines, and that's been the call in our life for the last 20 years.
Okay, now when you came out here, how did you actually set up just this mission?
Well, as soon as I was called, I realized that I was totally under the control of God, that I couldn't do this by myself. I needed help. He directed me to a dozen men who were my board of advisors. We set up a plan in a very procedural way, visited here for 3 months, got an invitation by World Vision to return for a seminar amongst the Aboriginal Christian leaders, who we did, and they said, "We know you love us, we know that you can serve us, please come back for a long stay." So I had an invitation to come in 1993. In 1996 I returned with 7 suitcases and a job.
And you and your wife?
With my wife, and a job in Centre, Sydney.
Okay, now tell us something about your mission experiences.
Well, the question is, what do you do? We started with one family. About 40 people came to Christ in that one family, 40 people in the community, and we then began getting invitations to travel. What we knew is that we needed Mammoth United Prayer in order to conquer this continent for Christ. And so everywhere we went in America and here, we solicited people to pray for a Christ-like Australia, one family at a time.
Now, this has taken you up to the Northern Territory as well?
We've been all over the perimeter of Australia, with the exception of the far west. And in that process, we would set up prayer coordinators, volunteer evangelists that would encourage people to pray with us, then encourage people to pray together. And through that network, we've got 6 communities now, one in Western Australia, one in each of the communities, and southwest Brisbane in Logan.
Okay, now, just the Lord has really touched your life insofar as that many people have come to Jesus. Now, what do you think that that's caused by?
Well, what we teach our over 100 volunteer evangelists is to be Christ-like. That's the most effective way of bringing a person to Christ, is to show them Christ in your life, to show them in your personal, your family life, and then secondly, how to present the gospel, which there's no better way than a scriptural presentation, like the Roman road.
Fred Schaeffer, you are a wonderful inspiration to everyone who actually meets you, and the Lord has really touched your life, and your wife Carol, and it's been a wonderful privilege just to have you as a friend over these past 5 years. This is Mark Tronson signing off for the Australian Missionary News.